Modi government has invested a lot of its political capital in building relations with countries in the Gulf and in West Asia. Are you saying that all of that is compromised by one statement? Surely our relationship does not stand on such weak foundations.
No, I'm not saying that, but I am saying that this has been an extremely important wake-up call for the government, that our domestic rhetoric could seriously undermine a relationship that they've invested a lot of time and trouble to cultivate and strengthen, a relationship that affects trade relations, our energy security, our geopolitical security, our counter-terrorism work, as well as looks after the well-being of millions of our citizens who work in those countries. This is a very high-stake relationship for India. You don't go around insulting something that those people simply cannot stand. It's a commonsensical thing. Any of the Indians of any faith working in those countries would have told you that. Any Indian diplomat posted in those countries would have told you that. But these tone-deaf rhetoricians of political parties, and one particular political party, to put it very bluntly, don't seem to have appreciated what's at stake. They feel that they can say anything they like because they get a free pass from the authorities in this country. And to that degree, our government is culpable in not cracking the whip much sooner.
You know, I want to repeat to our audience, unfortunately, the BJP has been unwilling to speak out and come on the program and defend its position on the show. But in conclusion, Dr. Tharoor, going ahead, do you believe that this is in a way a turning point, a message to all the hate mongers, whichever side of the divide they may be, whichever community they may belong to, that while you may get traction within India at times for some of the remarks you make, while your videos may go viral, while television channels may get TRPs from some of these hate videos, at the end of the day, we need to recognize that there is a world beyond winning an election or two in this country, or winning a TRP war or getting more clickbaits.
Absolutely right. We have to understand there are very big things at stake. We have a role in the world as a serious player, and we have interests in the world that actually affect the well-being of our citizens and our country. Not just the citizens working there. Energy security and geopolitical security and terrorism are important to us living in this country. And therefore, it's extremely important that due sensitivity be shown. It's been very clear to many of us that our hate speech and our political rhetoric has gone beyond anything that's acceptable. Since we're on India Today, I wrote a piece in the India Today magazine just a few weeks ago called The Toxin of Hate, where I talked about incident after incident I'd come across, which was damaging India and damaging Indians, changing our image in some ways irreversibly, and which is entirely because of the political poison injected into our society. For God's sake, let this be a wake-up call to stop this nonsense. Let's get back to being the India we always were. Let us celebrate togetherness. Let us celebrate coexistence. Let us not waste ourselves and our futures in this kind of absolutely negative talk.
Well, since you've written also why I'm a Hindu, let me also ask you this. There will be those today who will say, look, Hinduism by its nature is tolerant and accommodative. There has been a tendency to pander to Islamists in this country, and therefore there's a sense of Hindu grievance, anger pent up. When someone, for example, puts out a tweet of the Bhabha Atomic Research Center, likens it to a Shivling, then Hindus do not erupt in anger, but Islamists react in anger. How would you respond to that? Do you believe, in a sense, that there is an argument to be made there?
Listen, condemning communalism as I do applies to communalism of all faiths. I have as little patience for fanatics of Islam or any other religion as I do for fanatics and extremists of my own religion. I believe that these people, when they claim to be speaking for Hinduism, are doing a disservice to the Hinduism I knew and grew up in and that I am proud to practice. I believe in Swami Vivekananda's understanding that Hinduism teaches us all the acceptance of difference, much more than tolerance. We accept the differences we have with others and others have with us. That is our great strength. These people are betraying Hinduism in the name of Hindutva, and they need to stop. They need to realize that ultimately Hinduism and India are both much larger than their petty, politically motivated mindsets.
Okay. Let me leave it there, Dr. Tharoor. As always, a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much. I see you don't have a fringe cut of a kind that I had. So you're very much part of the mainstream. I probably, with my new fringe cut, am looking more like the fringe. Thanks very much, though, for joining me here on the news today.